All right. Good morning, Springfield and our surrounding community. Welcome to the October edition of Chief Chat. Myself is Jacob King, the Chief of the Fire Rescue Division, and with me is the esteemed Allison Elliott, the Chief of Springfield Police Department.
Good morning, Springfield.
All right. Well, what a wonderful weather. I love this time of year. Um, we have football season. We have cooler temperatures. And things that keep me interested, right? I can start off the day wearing a sweatshirt and pants, and by lunchtime I have to wear shorts and a short sleeve t-shirt, and then transition back to my sweatshirt and pants again. So it keeps me on my toes.
Absolutely. I love this fall weather. This morning was a little bit cooler than I was anticipating
Definitely.
with the potential frost there, but definitely a great time of year. The leaves are starting to change, although we haven't had much of an opportunity to see them change yet. But very much looking forward to getting some fall weather
Yep.
here, and Buckeye football season, of course.
All right. Yes, definitely. And talking about the changing of the leaves, with all the parks we have in the city and from the Clark County Park District out there with all the bike trails, great opportunity to get out there, enjoy some of this weather,
Yes.
look at the changing of the leaves. You can't go a day without seeing a park, I think. Right. So go out there and enjoy it, especially as this weekend's coming up. But part of enjoyment, right, is safety. We talk about that quite a bit. In the summertime, we really hit on water safety, wearing our life jackets when we're in and around water. Now that we're going into, well, it needs to get a little warmer. So, and we're going to store some of our yard equipment. And so those all have lithium ion batteries. Most of them do. And so we want to talk to you today about, Fire Prevention Week. It was last week, this week. It's the last day of Fire Prevention Week, but we cover it for the whole month. And actually, fire prevention is an ongoing thing you should look at daily, but we're going to focus on providing information. Most people don't understand the significant risk from lithium ion batteries. So, we are going to charge into fire safety is a big theme for the year. So set forth by the NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association. And so they help guide us in kind of what we're talking about. We're looking at, if you have hoverboards and scooters, e-bikes, anything that has those batteries in them, as well as your lawn equipment. So if you're running those battery powered weed eaters and drills, those are all lithium ion batteries that go into a charger, and they can create a very, very significant fire very fast. And so we're going to say, hey, if you're going to put one of these batteries on a charger, make sure it's attended. It takes only a few seconds for these to, they'll start the off gas, and then we'll get into what's called thermal runaway, where we'll have a significant amount of fire from this that could accelerate fire growth across your garage into your home. New York City has done a lot proactive work with regards to lithium ion batteries and charging, to where now you're required to be in attendance and charging any of these devices because they've seen a significant fire growth from these, as well as several fatalities.
So I have a question about that, Chief King. So if you're talking about your batteries and your battery charging stations for your power tools and things like that, say you put them in your garage, is it safe to leave them on the charger 24/7 all the time?
No. So
Okay.
definitely you want to charge them, but once they show full charge, take them off.
Okay.
Lithium ion batteries will slightly discharge a little over time, but most of them will hang to about 80%. And so then you can put one on the charger while you're starting your work utilizing that tool, and then it'll be ready to go by the time you need to switch it out.
Great.
But you shouldn't leave them on until I'm going to put it on the charger until I need it. Just charge it and then take it off, because we continuously don't want them to heat up.
Okay.
When you're charging a battery, it heats up, which causes it to expand. And if you drop that battery, like I've dropped stuff all the time, but you drop the battery and it gets a crack, and now we're heating it up for a significant period of time. Now that crack opens up a little bit to get
Compromises it.
oxygen to that lithium ion that's in that battery,
Mhm.
and lithium ion reacts with oxygen.
Mhm.
So it can spontaneously combust when it gets oxygen. And so that's where how these fires start when we're looking at heating up the batteries.
Okay, great.
And
Thank
it
you.
opens it up so they get oxygen, and boom, uh, it is very unique and something that we really haven't seen. But we also want you to be mindful, right? Thinking about the condition of the battery. So here in the city, right, um, we found that this is a battery to a laptop. It's very difficult to kind of probably see from there, but you can see the lines. But this is a swollen battery. So where it has started to swell when it was heating, that's an indicator that you need to replace that battery immediately. And so don't continue to charge these. There are some more that the packaging, they're warped, they've gotten really hot. And so that they took these out to be replaced. Now, we don't just grab these up and throw them away,
Yeah.
right? We really want you to follow recycling. So you can use these in recycling centers. There's battery recycling places as well. As you go to turn these in, the problem with just throwing them in the trash is these get thrown around in the um, trash truck, right? And the packaging is already kind of distorted.
Mhm.
And so it won't take much for these to just finish to break in half. But if they get oxygen, right? If it opens up and there's oxygen there, boom, we instantly have a significant fire on our
Okay,
hands.
fire again.
And so and why we're trying to talk about it is because these fires are going to spread so fast that it could block off your ability to escape.
Mm, great
And
point.
so that's why it's really important. Um, you know, we've been doing Fire Prevention Week since 1871.
Oh, wow.
And it started from the Great Chicago Fire of 1871.
Okay.
So this is the longest running observance in the U.S., led by the NFPA. And we just want to spark conversations and awareness. And so, really think about lithium-ion batteries. You can, even Google New York Fire Department and lithium-ion batteries, and they can show you several videos there that will show you how fast these fires are going to grow. But the biggest thing the experts are telling us that we should pass along is when you go to buy batteries, is to make sure that you're buying certified batteries.
Okay.
And so you want to make sure they have the UL certification, the CE certification on them, just to make sure they're labeled correctly and they've gone through all of the testing to ensure that it meets our safety standard. I would say that if you use one of those big companies that start with an A that delivers stuff to your door, right? You might not get one that is actually meets the UL certification. There's a lot of copycats out there
Mhm.
that are pushing stuff through that aren't made in this country and could create this virus for you as well. And so we want to make sure that we're focused on buying the right product.
I think that's a great point, Chief. I'm all about a matter of convenience as well. And when you're able to get deliveries, I think online shopping is a great way to keep that convenience going. But it's definitely important to be aware of that. And I think that's a really great point to make sure that on certain things you need to pay attention to where you're purchasing them from and making sure you're checking those before you do purchase.
Yeah, even for the one of the biggest things that's ran in the fire and EMS and a lot of the police agencies found was right the counterfeit tourniquets.
Mm.
You can't hardly
Yes.
tell them apart for life-saving tourniquets,
Sure.
but when you went to put them on, they broke.
Mm.
Right, and so but those were bought from they made it appear like they were all certified. So just double check the
Sure.
company if you're buying those extra batteries.
Sure.
Always use the approved charger by that manufacturer. Try not to throw it into a different charger just because it fits. It
Mhm.
could be charging at a different rate. And check your cables. Check the charger itself to make sure that it's free of any dust or debris, and that the cable hasn't been frayed for that. As we talked about, never throw these in the trash. use the designated recycle program. I know that Trent, our expert audio visual guy here. All right, there you go. Puts it back up. That shows you, or at calltorecycle.org to find a spot where you can recycle these lithium ion batteries. We also want to make sure that, although we talk about these batteries, is that they could grow a fire really big, that we want to make sure that, some of our standard template items that we want to talk about in fire prevention and fire safety is your escape planning, right? This doesn't take away from that, right? We want to make sure that you have smoke detectors installed in your home outside your bedrooms, that you have an escape plan, and that you work with all the occupants of your home to know how to escape in the event of a fire. Testing your smoke detectors, changing those batteries on the regular basis. Daylight savings time is a great reminder to, each time, twice a year, we're changing those batteries out. Because these are devices that are going to save your life, right, and your family's life. We recently just had this on Saturday, I believe it was Saturday night. We had a structure fire on the west side of town. It initially came in as a fire alarm. And so we sent our normal fire alarm response. While crews were en route, the occupant just called 911 and advised that that there's a bedroom on fire on the second floor when our crews arrived. So we upgraded that response, and the occupants were safely able to get out of the home, and we got the right resources there to mitigate that fire fairly quickly. But that fire was growing very quickly and fast. If they hadn't had smoke detectors, they would have never known, that we wouldn't be talking about how they're alive because they had an escape plan, because they had a fire alarm, smoke detectors there to get out from that fire. So that's pretty significant. We talked about Wittenberg University. So we responded there just around 2 weeks ago with regards to a fire alarm. And found a significant fire there in a lower story of that facility as well.
Chief, with the fire division, is there something that the fire division can do if people have questions about their smoke detectors and assistance with that?
Yes, thank you for asking. Yep. So we offer free smoke detectors to any of the residents in the city, and we'll come out and install them for you.
Yeah.
Right, at no cost. Give you tips on how to be safe. And we're willing to work with you on developing an escape plan if you need help.
Awesome.
So you can call Fire Station 1. You can go to springfieldohio.gov to the fire division and submit a request. And we will get in contact with you and help set that up.
Great. Thank you.
And during this time, we've been hitting a lot of the schools, a lot of events around the city. And we're going to continue to do that, trying to pass on this message. Coming up on the 17th, we have Friends of Professional Firefighters, Springfield Professional Firefighters Trunk or Treat happening down at the Fire Lodge off of Bird Road. The 23rd, I think we're at STEM for another Trunk or Treat event, and then we have the 24th where we have the large downtown Trick or Treat event, which is a great event. That's awesome. So many people that come there.
It grows every year.
Yes.
You've done a wonderful job. Yeah. No, looking forward to that. Going back real quickly, because we are getting into cooler weather, can you talk just a little bit about space heaters and the safety with those? I know there's a lot of questions. Can you plug them into power strips? Is it safe to plug them into extension cords? Because I know that's a great source of heat, especially as we transition into cooler weather. We see a lot of these heaters being run.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely if you're going to use a space heater, they call it a space heater because they need space, right? So you need 3 feet of space around your space heater as it starts to heat things up. We don't want anything that can get in closer than that because the heater itself could be hot, but the items that it could continuously heat over over time that could catch it on fire.
Yeah.
But they have a significant draw, just like the portable air conditioners that you see in windows. We want to make sure that with a space heater that you're plugging it directly into an outlet, and don't use extension cords or those surge protectors because of the draw that they typically have on the system. And so you want to try and isolate them to only one. That outlet is only the only one being used for that space heater, and then making sure that you also have the tip over protection, especially if you have cats or dogs in your house, running through, knock it over.
Sure.
We would definitely want it to shut off automatically.
Yes.
Versus just putting all that heat in one little spot could easily start a fire as well.
Okay.
So, thank you for bringing that up.
I know we see that significantly on calls. A lot of space heaters being utilized. I just want to make sure that everybody's able to stay warm, but also stay safe.
Definitely.
So.
The best thing for us is to not go to fires. If we can prevent it, that's our goal. And we don't want to see anyone injured in a fire. We want to be able to give you the tools and techniques so that you can not have the fire, but if you do, you can escape safely and effectively.
Absolutely. It's always good to practice those escape routes, especially if you have kids and children. Make sure that you're practicing those routes. And if you do practice them, I think it's important to practice them at different times of the day. When you talk about nighttime, things can be different in your home, and navigating your home at night can be a little bit different.
Definitely. And especially if there's some smoke in there, that's going to make it look even different and more difficult for you to escape.
Get your bearings. Yeah.
We do a lot of things. We try and incorporate night training with us. And I know your personnel do night training as well. Yes. Just because it's such a different dynamic.
Sure.
Of, how do we do our job when we can't really see as good as we do during daylight? Absolutely. And so you should definitely work on practicing your escape plans at different times of the day, and especially try one at night, just to see how much longer it takes for you to get out.
Absolutely.
So we want to encourage everyone to be safe, pay attention to those lithium-ion batteries, take the opportunity to meet with us out at trunk or treats throughout the town. And enjoy some of this fall weather as we go into winter. And I have to say, right, what a wonderful homecoming parade we got to see from Springfield High School yesterday.
Yeah, awesome.
It's so nice to be able to see people having a great time, enjoying the moment, not having to worry.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'm glad that our departments were able to come together to assist the schools and making sure they had a safe and wonderful homecoming parade.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great time of year. You've got fall weather, football, Halloween coming up. I know everybody loves trick or treat. And just again, to kind of follow up on that as well, as far as safety goes, with everything going on with Halloween, especially with the trunk or treats and trick or treats, it's important to remember, there's going to be increased pedestrian traffic, a lot of kids and costumes and things like that. And it's going to be getting darker sooner. So the concerns there, just paying attention to that, especially if you're driving through the neighborhoods during trick or treat, just paying attention and don't get distracted, and don't be distracted when you're driving.
Right. Yeah, great points. Safety first.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's our edition of Chief Chat for October. Thank you for joining us. If you have any topics, please submit them springfieldohio.gov to either the police division or the fire division. We'll try and hit on those topics or answer any of those questions at our next Chief Chat podcast.
All right.
Thank you, Springfield. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.